How's it going, you guys? It's your boy Chuckles here, back at it again. This time, we're taking a look at something that's been around for a while, but is still hot in the scene. And that is the Airsoft Innovations Cyclone Impact Grenade. Ooh, fancy. So we've had these here for quite some time. We've sold, I can't say how many of these we've sold because it's just a lot and I can't count. Bad at numbers. But Airsoft Innovations wanted to make a grenade that was, they wanted a grenade that was more affordable than the tornado grenades that they had. And were a lot easier to service, maintain, all those things. And they were at a cheaper price point too. Spent about $100 on a tornado grenade. So they discontinued that line when they started the Cyclone grenades, which are much cheaper. You're at a sub $50 price point for these guys, which is really cool for a lot of the same features and functionality. So, it's powered by gas. You charge up, essentially. It's relatively straightforward how to use this thing. The directions are really good. We'll do a little bit. We'll give you a full rundown of how to do it. But it holds 140 BBs in the base, so you just pull that off. Fill that with BBs, you charge it up with gas, set the fuse, hits, boom, bang, spins, launches, BBs everywhere. Pretty nifty. Good for clearing out rooms, just kind of getting in there, it's tough sometimes when you have dudes hiding in corners and you're just like, screw this, grenade out, and that helps clear the way a little bit at least. So the cool thing about the Cyclone grenade is that it's a lot easier to, even when you're in the field, reload so that you can just pick the thing up, toss it again, and keep using it. These guys are rated for up to 100 uses, like I said before. They do have replacement kits. They're about $15. They replace the setter plunger. They'll have that replacement for the valve, O-rings, all those things, extra pins. So they have replacement kits that'll be able to just really, you'll get a lot of longevity out of this thing. The number one thing is to just do this exactly how I do it, please. Alright, so the first step that you need is to set the pin. So how that works is you push it down on a flat surface. You can see it on the bottom that it kind of sticks out from the core. Push it up, push it forward. Essentially forward is where the rest of the assembly is. If it's cut out in the back, it won't stuck. So it'll stay forward. You grab the pin, get it out of that little loopy guy there, hole on the side, then right out the other side. Hook that guy in. That pin's not going anywhere, so you won't have to reset it. Boom, first bit. Then you have to grab this. Me personally, I like to screw on the top part, so you just turn it until you really find where it's going to go in. It'll sink in, just tighten it, screw it down, beautiful. And then what you're going to want to do is push in and make sure that this lower valve, the plunger is actually inside because it'll set up against this. That's how it releases. When the base plate hits, it'll push up on this, push out the pin, launch the air, and that's how it'll get all fancy. Grab your nice little trusty can of green gas and that fill valve right there. I normally like to do until it spits back out at you. Next step, you would put BBs in here. I'm not going to do that right now. You will see us shooting it in a second. But I would normally fill it about 2/3 of the way. The number one problem that people run into is they fill the thing to the top, they toss it, and it doesn't launch all the BBs. The problem is there's too many BBs that are in there, so I wouldn't put 140 in there. I'd probably fill them about 2/3 of the way, just to be safe. Because then they'll launch a lot farther as well, because these things will launch at 200 FPS or so. Next, you take the plate. It's on a track for the base plate. Very simple, straightforward how everything kind of lines up. Just get it on the track. Bada bing, bada boom. Tighten it. Boom. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I didn't set the pin right. So then once you have the pin set, you take the spoon. It's got a little stopper right there, so that'll go between that and the side, so that it won't accidentally go off at all. And you stick this through, That pin, pretty simple, straightforward. That'll hold it in. That thing's not going to go anywhere. Boom. Every few uses, you're going to want to make sure you use the silicone oil on all of the seals. So you want to put some, if you're not using green gas especially, you're going to want to use, when you're using propane or whatever, you're definitely going to want to use this, because if it's dry and you're running that, your O-rings are going to get dry and they might rot, and they'll crack and they'll break, and then you will lose a lot of longevity that you would normally get with these guys. Remember, they're rated for up to 100 uses. But the number one thing you need to keep in mind is, though it is an impact grenade, you cannot hug it. This is not a game, this is not a baseball. The problem you're going to run into is you're just going to throw it and you'll break it, which inevitably happens. So the number one thing you need to keep in mind is all you need is a light toss. Toss it very lightly and it will be perfectly fine. Nothing bad will happen. Just toss it in the room, it'll go off, boom, all set. The number one issue you run into, people say these things suck. They don't. They just don't know how to use them. Figure it out. But if you peg it at the wall and it breaks, that's not my problem. I'm just saying. So that's the one thing you need to keep in mind, is it's an impact grenade, but it needs a light impact. It doesn't need a friggin' be thrown. That's all. Just a light toss into a room. Perfect. You're good to go. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this review, you guys. Don't forget, like this video, comment down below if you've had any experience with these. Do you prefer these, or do you prefer the tornado grenades? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, catch our live streams, catch any other reviews or knowledge dropping that we have. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Hit us up, extremeairsoftri.com, see any upcoming events that we have. Other than that, it's been your boy Chuckles. We'll see you this weekend. Get those things with it. Really cool. Just very simple, straightforward. I'm going to show you how this guy works. Did he get me a green gas can from the tech station?